everyone, and welcome to this continuation meeting of MPAC. It is a continuation, but I'm going to still go through the preliminaries. So welcome to everyone. Welcome to councillors and officials, members of the public. I just want to confirm firstly the members that are present. I see Councillors Chokolo and Councillor Naki. Can you just confirm that you are here, please?
Yes, good afternoon,
I'm here.
in attendance.
Hi, good afternoon,
Naki.
councillors. Great to have you here. Hi, Councillor Naki. Thanks very much. That means there are 3 councillor members, so we have a quorum. And I see, Mr. Barrell, you are also here. Can you just confirm?
Yes, Chair. Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. So members absent with leave, there are none. Members absent without leave, I can't see Councillor Matiwani as an attendee. Perhaps he will be joining us shortly, but for now he is not here. Other councillors present. Is he here, Councillor Naki?
He is going to join us.
Okay, great. That's super. Thank you so much. I don't see any other councillors who are here. Is there anyone who I can recognize? No one? Okay, and then officials present. I see the acting municipal manager, Dr. Skeppers. I see, let me go through the list, and if I don't mention you, please then won't you say. So the Director of Corporate Services is here, Director of Planning is here, Jill Lekay is here, Morne Michaels, the acting CFO is here, Nwabisa, Rory Passmore, Tracy Lee Berger, Paula France. Is there anyone that I've missed? No one, thank you. And then members of the public present. Yes, Dr. Skeppers.
Can we just note an apology for the Director Technical Services? He is held up in a meeting in Buffalo Bay, I think.
Okay, super. Thank you very much. Carl, I saw your hand up as well. I see you are here.
Thank you. I'm undercover.
Okay. Thanks very much. We note the provisions of Schedule 1, the Code of Conduct for Councillors, and then we move on to point 4 of our agenda, which is the disclosure of interest. Councillors, is there anyone who would like to disclose an interest in any of the matters on the agenda? No one? Great. So the item that we are dealing with today that was held over from the previous meeting is 7.8 on the agenda. It's at page 160. And that is the report on potential irregular expenditure as a result of the findings of the AG and the interpretation of Regulation 32. And this is that comes to us because Council resolved that the matter be referred to MPAC to consider the recommendations of the acting municipal manager with regards to the findings of the AG pertaining to Regulation 32 of the piggyback contract. So at our previous meeting, we noted the contents. And we asked the acting municipal manager to provide us with the advisory note on Regulation 32, which has been circulated. So I have received from the administration the advisory note from provincial government and also the MFMA Circular 96. Committee members, do you also have those documents? They were circulated by email. Everyone got them. I don't hear any. As someone said previously, silence is consent. So I'm assuming you have them. Thanks, councillors.
Yeah. No, thanks, Chair. We did receive email where they were circulated. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. So I want to start off by thanking the administration for providing us with these documents. I've gone through them and I see the note, the advisory note. As Dr. Skeppers did say previously, we have had sight of before as a council, and really it speaks to Regulation 32 and how it should be how it should be implemented, and the queries that have come about that. And then circular number 96 talks about the implementation of Regulation 32, the demonstrable, and what is pertinent, what was raised last time by Mr. Barrell, is it speaks at page 2 about the demonstrable discounts, and for instance, the detailed report that outlines the outcome of an assessment and so on. And Dr. Skeepers, I just wanted to check something with you, which is my understanding after I've read these documents, is that we're not, so for impact today, we're not considering whether the expenditure was irregular or not. That determination has already been made, but we are considering recoverability. And with regards to that is the application then of section 74. Or Regulation 74. So we're not here to discuss or decide on whether the correct procedure was followed with regards to the awarding of or the decision to use the piggyback contract, but MPAC is to look at the recoverability and advise council on that. Is that correct?
You are correct, Chair.
Okay. So from my reading of the documents, section 32 that we've discussed previously, that goes to the demonstrable discounts or benefits, the report that needed to be drafted, and the assessment that needed to be made, that would go to whether it was to be deemed as irregular expenditure or not. And it's not something that we need to take into consideration when we talk about recoverability, or is it? Dr. Skeepers?
You're absolutely correct, Chair. The determination was already made by the Auditor General, and we did not formally challenge it. There were discussions from NISNA with the Auditor General, but when they made the finding, we did not challenge it. So that finding stands. The AG has deemed this to be irregular expenditure. Right. So you as a committee do not have any authority to either change that decision. It is deemed irregular.
All right, good. So then what we have to do as MPAC is look at Regulation 74, which says that MPAC, when tasked with investigating the recoverability, must look at the measures already taken to recover, the cost of the measures already taken, the estimated cost and the likely benefits of further measures that can be taken to recover. So when we spoke last time at the last meeting, I remember the CFO specifically said that if you were going to pay R1 for a water meter in Knysna, you would have paid R1 for a water meter in Cape Town. And that seems to me to cover the question of value for money or value received. Is that correct, Dr. Skeepers, that you wouldn't be able to say that had we followed a different process, we would have paid less and therefore that we can recover the difference? Is that correct?
Chair, yes. What we did is we piggybacked. So in other words, we used a procurement process through which the market was tested by another organ of state. So the market was tested, and the price that we paid is exactly the same as what the other organ of state paid after they've tested the market. So yes, you are correct. That determination has been made. So in assessing recoverability, we need to now see whether council actually lost money. And in my opinion, as I stated in the council meeting, because we followed a procurement process that had a competitive element to it, we cannot make any other determination as to say that council did in fact receive value.
Thank you very much, Acting MM. Having looked at all these documents, I agree with you. I think that recoverability is the issue here, and having taken into consideration the value received and the what we would have spent had we followed our own process and what we spent following Cape Town's process, that we're not going to be able to recover. But let me put it to the committee and just ask them whether anyone disagrees with that conclusion. Councillor Chikolo, let me start with you. Do you have any concerns about recoverability?
No, no, Chair. I don't have any concerns, Chair. And also, if you remember the discussion that we had the last time, when I think Mr. Barrell raised in section 32C that the discounts and benefits, and I think the CFO clearly explained last time that there were benefits actually of us not getting to a process of advertising, and at least we saved money there. So there were benefits, and I think, yeah, the only issue I think, Chair, was, as you're saying, it's the recoverability. That's what we have to determine here, of which I'm happy with what we're sitting with here. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Chikolo. Councillor Naki, do you have any concerns or issues that you would like to raise?
No, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Barrell, is there anything from your side in terms of the recoverability assessment in terms of Regulation 74(1) that you are not happy with or would like to raise?
Chair, I've said what I feel about the issue at our last meeting. I feel an assessment should still be done, which is difficult. I mean, it may be academic at this stage because no assessment was done at the time the contract was about to be entered into. So one would not be able to do an assessment now retrospectively very easily to arrive at whether a conclusion as to whether or not value was received, because we have no idea of what alternative products were available, the prices and terms. You know, if that study had taken place, it would have gone a long way to clarify this issue, and it would probably not be an issue at all, because if they'd done the job properly at that stage, there would be no question of any recoverability issue at stake. So in principle, I feel a study should be done, but it's probably academic at this stage.
No, I agree, Mr. Barrell. I really do agree with you in terms of that being the challenge here is to determine the difference is basically not possible now. CFO, I see your hand is up. Mbalelo, is that you? CFO, if you are talking, then you're muted. You are muted. How are we going to unmute you? CFO, I do want to hear what you have to say. Could you try unmuting yourself, please? Dr. Skeppers, can you unmute the CFO?
But I can't seem to.
Can you hear me now? Okay,
Oh,
can you hear me
Yes,
now?
yes, there you are. Yes, thank you.
No,
Go ahead.
Sorry, ma'am. No, I just wanted to alert the committee in terms of the concern that raised by the chairperson of the audit committee that in the current process we went out on tender. We've tested the market now. All similar products have been submitted in terms of this, and the meters that we did at that time, City of Cape Town, if we're talking about the meters, and this is something that I also want to highlight to the committee, because this piggyback seems to be around the meters. The biggest amount also is also on consulting engineers, not about the meters, you know. But on the meters, we've done the process now. The meters have slightly gone up in terms of the prices that we have received, but the current service providers that are the one which is being considered just about 6 or 7% increase from the prices that we paid on the city of Cape Town. So the testing of the market, the MM is correct, because that was an open process in the city of Cape Town, if we are specific about the water meters, which there is no other process except that one that tested the market. That process, in terms of the legislation, you can use to make that determination to say this is what was available in the market, and anyone else had an opportunity to tender at that time in that tender, you know. So there can't be assumptions that there could be somebody who would have tendered at that time, but has not tendered, you know. But as I said, we tested the market now. It's all the service providers that tendered in the city of Cape Town with their different pricing and their different options. The same product that we are having in NICE now is still the one that is being considered and the preferred now until that process is finalized. Yeah. Thanks, Chair. But lastly, Chair, I want Council to note and the committee to note, you're still going to sit with this situation with regard to the consulting engineers, which we piggyback from 2017. You're going to sit with this problem because we have not finalized the appointment of the consulting engineers. The biggest risk is if you don't continue with that piggyback, it means you won't be able to spend any of the capital projects that are in the budget now, you know, because you need consultants to draw up the specs and finalize those things with regard to that. So that panel that we piggyback at Municipal is still valid, and with engineering services, it will be valid until that project of a transformer or whatever project is completed. Yeah. So you just have to make a note that this is the only thing that will be outstanding still after this.
Thanks very much, CFO, for that. You broke up a little bit, but I did hear you. So I think after having heard everyone in the committee and having gone through section 74(1), I think that I'm comfortable to go with the recommendation that was previously made in the agenda on page 163, and that is that MPAC recommends to Council the approval of the expenditure as irrecoverable and that same be written off. Committee, can we go with that recommendation?
Yes, yes, Chair.
Councillor Naki, are you happy?
Yeah, boy.
Thank you very much. Dr. Skeepers, that would then be the B that was previously in our agendas. So we've gone with then A, B, and the new C that we did previously. So that matter has been dealt with. And we move then on to the next matter, which held over until today. And that is on page, I think, 226. Yes, that is it. And previously we did the same thing. We went with A, B was held over until today, C was deleted, and D became the new C. So this is a similar matter, and the documents that we asked for once again apply, and that is the note and also Circular 96 and Regulation 74(1), in terms of which we deal with recoverability. So, Dr. Skeepers, just to confirm that when we deal with this matter in terms of Regulation 74(1), the issue would stay the same, that this is not recoverable because we have received value for money, and it's impossible to go and have a look, do the assessment that should have been done then to do it now. Is that correct?
Yes, Chair, you clever people will say the previous decision applying mutatis mutandis.
Okay. So committee members, Councillor Chikolo, Councillor Naki, are you happy to then go with recommendation B of this item, that Impact recommends to Council the approval of the expenditure identified by the AG for 2018-19 financial year relating to Regulation 32 contracts as irrecoverable and that same be written off? Are you happy with that?
Yes, Chair.
Happy.
Same problems here.
Thank you very much. So the committee then goes with B in that item, and that then we've dealt with all of the recommendations before us, and that can go. CFO, is that a new hand?
Yes, Chair. Sorry, I just want to double check. I don't have the item in front of me now. The second one, what financial year is it saying? Is it not saying 1920?
In the recommendation, it says 1819.
The first one is 1819. The second one is supposed to be 1920. Chair.
Okay. So then we must amend that recommendation to say 1920.
Yeah, sorry about that. I pick up when you were talking. Sorry about that. Yeah.
I'm glad you picked it up, CFO. Thank you very much for doing that. Committee members, so we have then gone with that recommendation as amended, and we've already gone with A, we've now gone with B with the amendment to 1920, and previously we've gone with C, and that brings us to the end, I think, Acting MM, of what we were supposed to deal with in today's agenda. Is that correct?
That is correct, Chair. Thank you very much.
Super, thank you very much, committee members. Thank you very much to the officials. Thank you, Mr. Barrell, for being here as our advisory member today. It's 2:21, and Councillor Naki, you can get to your next meeting. Thank you so much for attending. The meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you, Chair. Bye.
Bye-bye.